Hello, Alyssa here for AOP Tech on YouTube. And this is part two of our Permission Click series. So if you haven't seen inside Permission Click is a platform that allows you to build secure things like permission forms or anything your parents have to sign off of. Part one of our series was an introductory look into Permission Click, a very basic overview of how to create a form. So that can be found on here on our YouTube page. We're going to jump into my second part here, which is looking at when you have a form created, what's that data look like? So here I am back in my Permission Click platform. I'm already signed in to my account, and you can see I've made this kindergarten pumpkin patch field trip. Kindergarten's going on the pumpkin patch field trip. I've sent that out, and I've got 3 responses from my parents. We're going to fill in some more responses, some pretend responses, so we can see that data. So you can see what it's like to be a parent filling this out. But I can also jump in by selecting that form. And I can see, first of all, I'm going to jump to the form details here. So we already created this form. I have the start and end date. I also put in the form creation side the edit or the cutoff that is a week before. I've put in event information. I've chosen not to collect payment on this one, but that is an option, and we talk about it in the part 1 video. Questions for parents, emergency contact and phone number, student questions, and this would be per student if a parent was filling out this information or this form for more than one child. I'll show you what that looks like. If they have any allergies, do they require any medical equipment on the trip? What do they require to be taken with them? And then if they have any questions, to contact the school office. So this is a very, very basic field trip form. You might require more in there. Know that I can, even though this is a published form, I can go back and edit it, but it does change the link when you do so, the published link. So if you push it out to parents, then you go back and change it with this edit form button in the top right-hand corner. Know that you're going to have to send out a new link. The old one won't work anymore. But I have already published this. It gives me a link up at the top of my page. Again, building this was a lot like Google Forms, and the link sharing is very similar. So I've shared that link. I can email it out to parents or whatever the case may be. And I want to see the responses that have come in so far. So I have form details tab, and then I have a responses tab now that this is a published form. I did not have that before when I was in edit only mode. I only had form details. Now I have a responses tab. And I can see that 3 parents filled this form out, and one has a set of twins. They filled it out for Jane and John in the same form, which is awesome if you have multiple kids in a grade, or if you're doing something that's a whole school initiative, something like, a t-shirt sign up or whatever the case may be. A parent can fill out essentially one form regarding all their kids instead of having to fill out and send 5 individual forms to 5 different homerooms. So I have that there, and I can see just from a quick glance that Jane and John are attending. Matt was not given permission, so now I have that in writing that Matt will not be attending. Grace is good to go as well. I can print this out in Excel or PDF. I can download it, and we'll do that later when we take a look at the response details here. But I want to jump into that live form just so you can get an idea of what it's like to fill this out. So here's the form that I created for the pumpkin patch field trip. Again, I can change the language on it in the upper right-hand corner. Great if you're really serving a diverse community. You can see there are a lot of languages here, especially if you're serving a diverse community and maybe you don't have someone to translate that form into all the languages that maybe you need at home. You can send out one form and then a parent could adjust it to their individual need there. So here's my basic information. The platform always asks for this information to start. I did not build in this information on the bottom here, but it does automatically give it to me. So a parent's email address, I'm gonna just put mine in here real quick. And I'm gonna actually fill it out 2 times. I'm gonna say my name. And I'm going to say, for son, I do give permission. Now, I can add another student right on this home screen and put a second name in here. And again, I can give permission or not. the other, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to remove that right now. Know that if you do so, the student questions, like in this case, in this form, the medical questions will come up twice. Once for student number 1, and then again with student number 2. So it differentiates those 2 students or multiple kids in there, so that way a parent can answer those questions per child. So when you're filling in questions into the form, questions for parents universally carry over to all the students listed. Questions per student are individual. I'm going to remove that there. Hit next. I can see up at the top left-hand corner, I can see my progress through the form. I can say that grandpa is the contact here. I'm just going to put in some numbers. Hit next. I can put in student allergies. I might just put seasonal. Does this child require any medical equipment? No. I might say yes, the inhaler's in the office. Yes, they need to have an EpiPen on them, whatever the case may be there. Maybe if it's diabetic, they know that they have to take those pieces there, but it's just a safeguard. And if I were filling this out, I'm going to go back real quick and see I can navigate as a parent back and forth, which is great. If I had more than one child listed on that first page, I would get a second page, fill in the information below for the next child. So that way you can have those responses per child. Again, at the end, step 4 gives me a review of the information that I've put in. So as a parent, I can double check. I can say that I agree, and I can submit it. It gives me the final piece of information. Thanks for filling out the form. Please contact the office with any questions. When I created that form, I put the landing in there on it. So perfect. That's all there is on that parent side. Let me go back to my platform. I'm going to refresh my page here. And now I can see that there is a response from me down at the bottom here. It goes in the order in which it time-stamped was submitted there. Attending, yes. And then if I wanted to, could download that Excel form. I'll pull that up real quick. This is a master summary. It shows all the information. So I can see here, this is my field trip. This is the date of the activity. At the top here, I'm the teacher on it. If there were more than one teacher, it would give the responses to more than one teacher. I have the name. I have the parent name. I have parent email. I have an order number. If there was a payment, a date signed was October 13th. If I had a payment that I was requiring in there, it would list that as well. Attending, yes or no, emergency contact information, and all the different pieces that I filled in there. So it does give you that nice master summary for you to take instead of having to maybe print out all of those or make a copy of all of the field trip forms for that teacher to take along with. They could just take this, or they can access it on the web. I'm just going to hit save and continue here. And that's what it's like on that end. It's very simple and very straightforward, I think, on both the parent end to fill out and also on the teacher or administrator end to create. So I hope that you like Permission Click. If you'd like more information about Permission Click, feel free to reach out to our AOP Tech office. Any of our tech coaches can help you out with that. As always, subscribe to AOP Tech below. And we are also on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, along with our website, aoptech.org, for all of your EdTech needs. So thank you so much and have an awesome day.